Alright, listen. Before you click off this video already, I want your attention. Furries are basically mainstream. How? How? Well, we all thought furries is just a tiny little community. Only about 1 million people in the fandom, maybe a little bit more. But no, we were wrong. Furry's been mainstream ever since Disney came out. Ever since Disney came out. And furries weren't even a thing back when Disney came out. So, the question, how are furries mainstream? Well, I basically said it. Furries are basically mainstream from Disney. And, well, some people that don't want to admit it, like Hollywood, but in reality, the anthropomorphic animals like Zootopia 2, Go, Turning Red, Planet of the Apes, yeah, I said it, and so much more. Basically, they use anthropomorphic animals to animate because it's actually easier to animate than normal humans. So, and like I said, no one even realized it, and now I realized it myself. Furries are finally mainstream, and it came across the fandom like at the speed of light. No one even saw it. And the movies, like I said, that's basically how mainstream we are. Like I said, bunches of different movies. Like, yeah, we are basically already mainstream, and basically, this isn't really clickbait because if you look on movies, like you can search up whatever and you can see it is anthro based or furry based. Now, what if the productions mixed anthropomorphic animals with humans? Where would that lead us? Well, it would actually lead us to what we're living in now. Furries going mainstream, and the anthropomorphic furries going mainstream, and then the humans. And it would just be all mixed up and stuff like that. Basically, and it's not like, oh, furries are so bad, I don't want to be one, blah 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 blah. Look, I've been a furry for 3 years. You can trust me. Basically, yeah. It would open up a bunch of new movies. Like we could end up seeing The Maze Runner, but anthro, or Twilight, but anthro and LGBTQ. Yeah, we see that. We see that. Or we could have Fast and Furious that's anthro, but it's also racing. And let's just say this: anthropomorphic animals, we can play it any way we want it to be. We can play it like Zootopia, where honestly it's a world full of anthropomorphic animals, big and small, but still has jobs and stuff like that. And finally, the final thoughts. Honestly, I feel like furries and mainstream people really haven't realized we've been mainstream for a good while. And now we now realize, hey, we've been mainstream for so long. Why didn't we not notice this? Why did we not notice this? Because basically we are already going mainstream. It's not, I'm not saying anything that's not truthful, because basically it is truthful. Furries are mainstream already. And it's so crazy. We really just realized, oh, we've been using anthropomorphic animals in movies without realizing we're actually touching the furry fandom. But furries know, oh, so basically, let me just say this. We're normal. Get over with it. We're normal. We're not weird anymore. We're not weird anymore. And this will lead to the start of a new era for furries, but also with the people that accept, but also people who don't really care for furries will also accept. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon. Bye.